lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow, I looked around.
What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna keep it real. So all the time I get comments on my videos and DMs to my Instagram saying how good my life is and how people look up to me and how people wish they had the life I had. You know, I get it because I live in the middle of Midtown Atlanta in this fancy apartment. I'm a 23-year-old guy and it appears like through my videos I have everything pretty much set. And while I appreciate all those comments wholeheartedly, it truly keeps me going, keeps me motivated. I want to make sure I'm real with you guys about everything, that you guys know the real me. So today I'm gonna tell you 5 mistakes I make literally all the time, probably every single day, to show that life isn't always what you see on social media. So with that being said, I'm really excited to film this. Let's go. The first mistake I make is that I don't have a budget at all. I kind of have a rough guess in my head of how much money I make and then how much I spend, but a lot of months I really misjudge that. I'm 1 year out of college, I have a pretty good job, but in no way am I rolling in cash whatsoever. I think that's a common misconception that a lot of people probably have given the life that I appears to live. I used to have a ton of money. I don't. My rent is ridiculous. My auto insurance, for example, is freaking crazy being a 23-year-old dude in the middle of the city. Of course, gas has been ridiculous as well, and literally cost of living for everything in life has gone up. So when a new bill comes up, I pay it. So when I want to do something fun, I usually do it. I'm going to Atlanta United soccer game tonight, and those tickets aren't cheap. I'll probably get a beer at the game. Beer there's like 10 bucks. I'm spending way too much money, and at least you would think if I'm spending too much money, I'll at least have a budget written down of how much I intend to spend each month so I have an idea. Well, I don't. I'm having a hard time saving money right now because life is just so expensive. So I guess to combat that, because my job is commission based, I'm working harder and harder and working more hours to try to make more commission to support the lifestyle that I've built for myself. My point is, especially on social media, I think people try to flaunt way too much and act like they have more money than they actually do. Well, I want to be real with you guys 100% and admit that I don't have as much money cash in my pocket as you probably think I do.
Guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend.
Number 2 is that I don't call my family as much as I should, and this has honestly bugged me for a long time and makes me feel kind of shitty. We have a family group chat where we keep each other up to date every day, but sometimes, well I guess not sometimes, more than sometimes, like all the time, I get too caught up with work, with YouTube, with working out, with whatever the hell it is that I'm doing, that I forget to show them that I still care about them. Family is the most important thing in the world, period. There's literally no arguments to that. And sometimes I forget this myself. I need to call them more to remind them how much I care about them and how thankful I am that they're the ones who raised me to become the person I am today. So the lesson here is whatever you're doing, never forget your roots, never forget where you came from. I grew up in the suburbs of Cleveland, Ohio, and if you've been following for a long time, that's where my YouTube channel kicked off. And even though since then I moved across the country to Atlanta and I'm doing pretty well for myself, my heart will always remain where I came from. So moving forward in whatever it is that you do in life, what career path you take, what adventures you get into, where you live, and what new people you meet, don't forget who was there at the start. Right now it is 2:50 and I'm finally having my first meal of the day. And now I'm really hesitant to say this, but I think I can say it with full confidence now that Zaxbys is probably better than Chick-fil-A. And it breaks my heart to say that because Chick-fil-A, you know, is the OG fast food chicken sandwich, but I've had Zaxbys a couple times now and their sandwich is just simply phenomenal. I get the classic Zaxbys signature sandwich with the spicy sauce. I also picked up some boneless wings for my girlfriend to bring to her at work. Yes, I am the world's best boyfriend, but that's besides the point. So the third mistake I always make is I always tend to think too much about the future. Sometimes I need to just chill out. My last video I mentioned I took on a new soccer job in hopes that one day I'll become a head varsity high school soccer coach. A few videos ago I talked about how I might leave Atlanta in like 9 or 10 months. I have very lofty goals. I envision myself accomplishing so many different things and traveling all over the place. My mind is always running, always thinking about something, and the result of that is that I'm honestly tired more often than I should be. I gotta be careful that I don't burn out because that's a very realistic possibility. There's a reason I only do one video per week because that's all I'm able to do in order to continue and sustain this energy and this quality. So in your life, if you're more tired than usual, odds are you're doing too much. If your mind is running all the time, odds are you're thinking about more than what you need to be. Focus on the goal today. So what's the goal today? Well, I guess there's two. First of all, survive, so you see tomorrow. And then secondly, make today as good of a day as possible and then worry about tomorrow when tomorrow comes. Number 4 is that I always put a ton of pressure on myself, as in I always want to be the very best at anything I try to do. At work, what I do is metrics driven, so every single week I strive to have the best metrics so I could be the best performer on the team. With YouTube, I put a ton of effort into making each video slightly better than the last video in some way. When I was in college, even though I didn't like school at all, I took a lot of pride in my work and I finished college with pretty much straight A's. I think I got 1 B in freshman year English of all classes. Now, of course, it is awesome if you expect a lot out of yourself because it shows that you're driven, and 2, you know you're capable of doing great things. The problem arises when something doesn't go your way, and that will happen all the time, and because of that, you get pissed off at yourself. Ask my girlfriend. I won't lie, when I have a bad day at work or one of my YouTube videos doesn't do well, I hold a grudge against myself, and it lasts sometimes all day. There are so many bigger things in life, like having a roof on your head or food on the table, that one bad day at work means absolutely nothing. I'm trying to work on this, and you should too. Atlanta United 4, Toronto FC 2, always a good game, and I go to so many games you think I have season tickets. Well, I don't. I just buy them like 2 hours before game time and either SeatGeek, StubHub, or Ticketmaster and get seats for like 20 bucks. That's it. But number 5 is that I gotta make my health a better priority. Being healthy both mentally and physically should come above everything else. My sleep has really been lacking for the most part because usually I'm up late working and then I do YouTube on the weekend, so I don't exactly get to make up my sleep on the weekend like I should. My lifting schedule, I've kept myself fit and strong, but I've decreased how many times I go from about 5 or 6 times a week down to 4 times a week about the last year or so. That's what I've had to do to juggle everything, but I gotta get myself back up to that 5 or 6 times a week mark because lifting is a true passion of mine with so many incredible benefits. You gotta make sure you're looking after yourself both mentally and physically all the time as much as you can. A lot of times people look healthy on the outside when in reality on the inside they're not doing that great. Now I'm doing pretty good for the most part. You know, I'm healthy, I'm fit, I'm energized, I'm active, but in previous videos I've said how I'm able to function consistently on 6 hours of sleep per night. Well, I think that 6 hours of sleep per night is catching up to me now because I'm starting to feel more tired on a daily basis. So I gotta make it a priority to get more sleep from now on, at least 7 or 8 hours per night, if not 9 hours or 10 hours, hopefully on the weekend, because you gotta get your sleep to function. Get your sleep, the work can wait, eat healthy, probably healthier than I do. Drink a gallon of water every single day. I do that, I love my water, and just make sure you're good to go. With all that being said, those are 5 mistakes I make all the time. I want to share those with you today because I think social media paints a false reality about how perfect a lot of people's lives are. My life and myself is nowhere near perfect, so I recognize I still need to improve a lot of things, and I hope you can take what I said today and make those improvements in your life as well. I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Make sure you drop me a thumbs up and subscribe because I drop a new video every single Monday that you don't want to miss. See you next Monday.